I was just past my house and I needed to turn around. The car just came out of nowhere and clipped me up the right side, took my leg off. And next thing I knew, I was in the ambulance being carried off to hospital.
It was Konrad's mum who initially called us to say that her son, at that point only 19, had been involved in an incident and as a result had his leg amputated.
When the reality started setting in, it was quite a lot to deal with, realising that, you know, life is never going to really be the same.
In those early conversations I was able to say, well actually these are things that you could still very much achieve. It's going to take time, but we're going to make sure we've got the right team around you and we can build you back up and make sure that you've got the support you need when you need it.
Jodi was great of kind of laying things out for me and telling me that, you know, things are going to get figured out.
So for him, he is an extremely active person, so we needed to make sure whatever prosthetic he had, that he was able to get back to doing things like rock climbing, get back to being on a bicycle, get back to his motorcycling.
Dorset Orthopaedic is a private prosthetic firm. Initially we assessed him and decided what the most appropriate prescription would be given his lifestyle and hobbies and riding a motorcycle again.
The great benefit to moving away into the private provision away from the NHS is really the time that's dedicated to someone like Konrad. I remember actually coming out to see David for him to talk me through what the provision was and why Konrad needed it. Because I can then do my job by going back to my opposite number and effectively arguing that on Konrad's behalf.
Konrad's got one of the most advanced microprocessor controlled knees that's available, and it's allowed him to take the biggest advantage that he possibly can do of that. And I think that's what I've been really impressed with and really like working with motorcycle law. There is that focus on the individual.
To go from sitting at this level to standing back up again at 6 foot was quite strange. It was like growing 2.5 feet, 3 feet just overnight.
If we can get the provisions in early, they can start to see a light at the end of the tunnel, which is so important at any age, but especially someone who was so young who sustained such a horrific injury.
I was so just excited to be out on my own again, to be able to, you know, lean the bike over, fold into corners, all the fun things, just hearing the motorbike, seeing the looks I get from people.
I think it's fantastic to see what Konrad has been able to achieve, knowing that he's now enrolled in college with aspirations to go off to university and being able to be happy and live life again.
I definitely didn't see my life being as good as it has turned out to me or as good as I see it to be now. My best advice? Shit happens. Life still moves on, so why should you sit still?